Let's see if we can get you in, Barbara. Squeeze in.
Yeah, whatever.
Come on in tighter.
There,
Tighten up,
okay.
tighten up.
Yay, we're
Woo!
standing the whole
Yay,
time.
something different today.
Woo.
I've got my red poncho on for tree trimming. Barbara's got her black with all her snow on it.
It may not show up.
Oh, well,
kind of like my wrinkles. They don't show up live.
Very forgiving. So we're so glad you joined us tonight. And what we're going to be talking about right now is trimming a tree.
Yeah.
What are you laughing about?
Trimming the tree, because we've worked on this. Hey, Lizzie Markwalter, how are you?
All right.
I missed you last week.
We're going to start with our drinks.
At Greensboro last week. What was the question? I forget. Gave me an answer, but
we
I forget
started
what the
drinking
question was.
Before.
Yeah, this is our second.
Yeah, that's enough for you.
We were
I know. I've got just
eating popcorn.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
So,
we needed it.
What we're going to start with is, I can't understand when I hear all that.
Okay.
All right. So we're starting with our poppy pimento cheese, and you can tell we've about emptied the bag
just
already.
Because we're still coming off a Masters Week. We can't get enough pimento cheese.
All right.
That's what it was.
But it is so good. We have the poppy popcorn and the pimento cheese. We have it in the salted caramel, and the new one is reindeer crunch. And so we'll be trying that with y'all very soon. But tonight we're using the pimento cheese. And it was probably best if we had eaten before, because we have been digging our hands to the bottom of this thing.
Yeah,
right?
we might as well.
Yeah, we might be
no sharing.
No sharing.
No sharing.
And of course, we always have a nice cocktail napkin. This is by PPD, the Paper Products Company. And this is the old Woody.
A Woody.
Oh, it's so cute with the dog pulling the tree. I have my fingers off of there.
Yeah.
Pulling the tree from the woods, taking it to the Woody, because they're getting ready to trim their tree tonight as well. So Barbara and I are having our trees trimmed today by Amy, our in-house designer. So she's at home making
But I
magic.
like to help sometimes. So that's why I got a little bit of flocking all over me.
And, definitely the tree trimming reflects our personalities. Now, I'm a little more subtle, conservative. Amy, she did my house first, and then we walked over to Barbara's, and we both had palpitations. I said, I got to go. She had stuff everywhere, but it was beautiful.
I like to use it all.
Oh, yeah. That's what we talked about earlier. When's enough?
When's enough?
Barbara said never. Never. So, anyway.
But we were talking about when enough is enough.
We talked. Yeah. That's it. That's as far as we got. Cheers. Cheers to y'all for a tree trimming evening.
Hello. I got Wanda.
Oh, gosh.
Lizzie.
This is just a little Chardonnay.
Where we got the cars from. That's what it was.
What cars?
We drove to Greensboro to get the cars.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting there going, what? I know it's the answer to something.
Okay.
But last week when we go to Greensboro to get the cars, drive them to the Masters.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's right. I didn't know
she helped me figure it out.
This is back in the day when we're not going to talk about what Barbara did at the Masters. Remember?
No.
That will never
Lizzie
come up.
wasn't there either. So
that's good. Andy Edmondson knows.
Yeah.
But anyway,
she was a bad influence.
Yeah. Blame it all on the other person, for sure. But we're going to talk about the tree trimming today. And I'm sorry, like I said, not used to standing to do this, but we didn't know how to do it otherwise.
Right.
So first of all, and we did this ourselves. You got to get the tree out. Now, if you have a husband to do that, like Barbara did, did Jeff get it down?
Yeah, he did. I was going to say, but he did.
That's good.
He did.
I'm party of one, so I brought it down one piece at a time. Never say, I can't do it. You can. No. One piece at a time. I did it and got it done and ready for Amy now. And I usually just had the tree fluffed and ready to go. But Barbara says, well, I already put ornaments on the tree for her, so she can just.
She's a designer.
Yeah, well.
She doesn't just put ornaments on a tree. You do the grunt work. If you got a designer coming in.
She did it for me.
So. Yeah.
But what I did this time is I unwrapped the ornaments and had them all laying out.
Well, that's good.
So
And
it's a
she
good
kept
thing.
saying, "Oh shit, there's another bow. Oh God, where'd that bow come from?"
Like,
There,
Amy is a kind soul. Let
yeah,
me tell
she
you.
doesn't say that.
So you walk into Barbara's house
says
and you see all
sugar.
that sugar. That's right. We get in trouble if we say the other word.
Mhm.
So the most important thing is say today's the day. Now, when I was looking for cocktails for trimming a tree, they all went along with some fruity,
Put that down.
right? Some fruity
Enjoying
drink
that too
with
much.
pomegranate or cranberry, or they went with hot chocolate. And I just don't think hot chocolate's going to help when you're decorating a tree. You definitely need something that's going to dull the senses.
An energy drink.
An energy drink. That's
Dull
true
the senses.
too.
Okay.
Either or. That's right.
Mhm.
So, Barbara, when you get your tree out, that's the number one thing you want to do?
Fluff. Fluff, fluff, fluff.
Very good.
So, that's a big mistake a lot of people make.
Because it's tedious and you don't
Nobody
do it.
wants to do it.
But
Nobody's going to do it for you.
You got
Because
to
nobody
get your
wants to do it.
hands all the way in there, and you even fluff the back of the tree.
Yeah, because
even when I did a video with you putting the wreaths up on the side of the store a couple of years ago, that's what you said, fluff, fluff, fluff. Even with you doing your wreaths, your garland, it just takes long time. Sit down in the house, fluff them before you watch a movie or something, but fluff them before you get started.
And if you're paying a company to put those wreaths out in the front of your house, you need to verify they're fluffing those wreaths, because there's like, oh, they've been in storage for a year. We're just taking them out, putting them up. No.
We've seen some recently that fluff.
Yeah,
And
you got to fluff the bow.
Mhm.
It just takes time.
It makes it so much better.
But and at the end of each year, I take my ribbon away and I roll it up, because there's just no way to. There's a couple of ribbons I can steal in the attic,
right,
hanging from the rafters.
We put nails in the rafters and hang the bows.
Yeah.
Something else we used to tell our customers all the time: if you have limited space, how do I store my wreaths for the next year?
Right.
You go into your closet and you look up, and right inside your closet, that's an area there that's not used.
Yeah.
And
up
high. It's not, not on the shelves or anything, but when you walk into the closet, look up behind you, and that's an excellent area to store wreaths.
And we don't have a walk-up attic, and so we put them on a rod.
I'd have mine on a rod,
you just hang them in between the two rafters,
right? Because
they're all spaced, because you got to give everybody its space.
That's right. I have about 24 windows outside, and
she got shutters on all of them. But that's another story.
That's right. But anyway, they all have, if you want to use them the next year and you don't want to have to fluff as much, you don't just throw them in a corner, because then you got to redo the bows, all of that.
Yeah.
If you can hang them on a galvanized rod is the best thing, because any of the PVC rods, they're going to crush with weight.
I use wood.
Wood, it works.
Yeah.
But let me tell you that the galvanized rod, a metal rod, get it grommets on the outside of it to hang on one side and another of a rafter, and it's amazing how you can store things. Space is not an issue. You got to make the space. It's there in the house. You just have to find it. But Christmas is everything to us, right?
Right.
Yep. We love this season.
We got it tucked away. All of it's in the attic, in the basement, up high, down low, too slow.
Yeah.
It's just
the next thing you want to put on are your lights. Now, how many lights? You say, oh, my husband does that. Well, if your husband's doing it, more than likely
he's not putting on enough, because
he's saying, is that enough? And you go, well, you did it. I guess it's enough. But with lights,
just bring them.
There's a formula.
The lights. Yeah.
And I think it was 200 lights per 1.5 feet of tree. So if you have a 7.5 foot tree, that's 1,000 lights. If you have a 9-foot tree, we'll do the math. It's a lot more. It's about 1,300, something like that.
But on the thing, it says 700 to 1,400 for a 7-foot tree.
Yes.
And once you start stuffing the stuff in there, you're going to want more because you're going to cover it up.
Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take every branch and wrap it from the back to the front or the front to the back. But you don't just do it out on the outside and drape it. You've got to take each branch, go all the way, put your hand all the way back there. Now, you have a pre-lit tree. Good for you. But
that's so special. Well, we still put extra trees, can put lights on.
That's
because it's still not enough.
Sometimes it's just not enough. So just know. Now, the next thing that Barbara,
I do different size lights.
Oh,
those bigger light bulb.
Yeah.
And on the whimsical tree, always like a little bubble lights on there. That's so magical.
They are. And Jeff is having to replace breakers all the time because she might overload them. But that's a whole other subject.
California.
He's such a sweet guy.
We've had trees fall over. We're not afraid. No, I'm not afraid.
Everybody's had a tree fall over in their life.
Trip breakers, whatever.
Yeah, no, trip breakers. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. So the next thing we like to do, or you can do, it's not necessary, is to elevate your tree. Now, that's not elevating it to a new level. This is lifting it off the ground. If you have a 9-foot ceiling and you have a 7.5-foot tree, you have more opportunity there.
Or you even have a 7-foot tree and 8-foot ceilings.
Well, or 6 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, do the math.
That's right.
It's like, we're moved into a new house and the trees are taller and I only have a 7-foot tree. It's like,
you don't have to get the new one this year. Wait till at the end of the season.
And you can have a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Yes.
Because when you get through doing what we tell you to do, you're not going to see the tree much anyway.
That's exactly right. So how do you elevate your tree, Barbara?
Well, this one, we have a special holder.
Right.
So it's a pedestal holder. And, like I've seen, we have a planter from Ballard that was made into a Christmas tree holder.
I have one of those.
I have all 3 of my trees elevated. So,
but you don't have to get a special elevation device.
Correct.
What are some other things?
So the one in the basement, I had a big basket. And it's about 4 feet
it's huge.
Tall by 4 feet wide.
It's not 4 feet tall, but because that would be
3 feet.
Yeah,
3 feet tall. 3 by 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put a milk crate in there to elevate the tree. Try to stick the tree down there. It goes down late. And then I just kind of tied the branches to the side of the basket, and it's sitting on the milk crate. So
that's an accident waiting
but
to happen.
It's
but
it's far enough down in there you could zip tie the tree base. Plus, a lot of times I always use fishing line and tie my tree to a wall or tie my tree to a staircase. So the one in the basement will have a tie going to the staircase.
That's right.
Because it wouldn't be my first time I've dropped one.
That's
now upstairs, I put it on a planter. Then I put the glass circle on top of the planter. And it just has to, that base has to be wider than the base of your tree.
That's true.
And then today we took some garland and we covered the base of the tree so it just looks like a topiary going down into the planter. Because I'm smart like that. And then the one in the den, I'm gonna tie that one to the curtain rod.
You got the babies in there.
Yeah. And tie it to the curtain rod. It'll be good with fishing.
Take it all down.
Yeah. And then the one in the den, those big tubs we decide, the ice tubs.
Galvanized tubs that you get
from
at
Ace Hardware. Yeah. I have it sitting upward. So it's a wide base. Put a big wooden top, 36-inch round wooden top. And that one's sitting on top.
In other words, look around your house, look in the garage, or your husband can build you a wooden box.
That's what we have at the shop.
At the shop here, wooden boxes that her son built for us.
JJ.
Yeah, her son.
Yeah. My son.
Yeah. Your son.
Okay.
He's a good one.
He's good.
All right. So that's an opportunity to elevate. All right. The next thing is you can start with, and what we did here, and I know this is so hard to show, but you see this? We took a eucalyptus garland,
Garland.
different color, and we wrapped it around the tree. You can't, and some
So
of them
you
you can see Facebook and
This is two garlands.
Instagram. Yes,
I was
two
talking to
garlands
Amy about
that we wrapped around the tree, and it's good for texture. This is a Fraser fir texture on the tree, and this eucalyptus is a lighter green. It just gives different dimension to the tree, and it makes it fun.
And the coloring.
Not all the
yeah,
dimension and that's right.
Yeah.
Variety in color, because this is a lighter green than the tree. So that's an opportunity. The other thing you can do is, in this we can do it in different ways, but you can put sprigs in the tree.
behind you.
And we have a pine sprig here, and all of a sudden you can stick pine.
Just stick it
There,
there.
I'm looking. You do that.
Yeah.
And make sure they can see it on all of them. And all of a sudden, you're taking this Fraser fir, adding a little pine. The other thing, let it stick out some. You want that dimension on a tree. You don't want everything.
A lot of times you're going, oh, that's a lot of thing. But look at how if you take this thing and you cut it here, now you got two sprigs, two for the price of
good
one.
wire cutter.
Good, yes.
Yeah, good
I have to
cutter.
go and so at that point you're getting, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Just have a lot of, so putting in a little pine, putting in a little yuki, putting in a little cedar, it just makes it pop.
It does. So the next thing when you start your decorating, and this is big because normally you put your balls on the tree, right? And they're lovely, and I'm sure you've got a lot of them from years gone by. But what we want to start with first is a wow piece, and in this case, we're talking big. So look at this big snowflake we started with. Something else that's big, and I don't know if you right here where Barbara is. We put a lantern.
Big lantern.
There. But I bet you have lanterns at your house already.
Yeah.
Put lanterns in the tree. Okay,
we use chenilles.
Okay.
Pipe cleaners.
Pipe cleaners to put them in. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But we suggest that you talk about, start
Big
with
star.
wow ornaments. And you only need probably on your wows 3. And you go boom, boom, boom.
3.
1, 2, 3.
3 stars. 3 snowflakes.
Right. And
3 lanterns.
This tree has been depleted because we let people shop from the trees. So God love Amy. This is not how it started.
And we will post the picture, the before picture. This is our after picture.
Right. So after you do that, you're going to start attaching your ornaments, your round ornaments or whatever. Just be creative. You don't have to use all round ornaments like we did here. I mean, well,
I get about 5.
You have a formula for it.
Yeah.
On a 7.5 foot tree that really backs up to a wall or in a corner, she uses 5 of each of the round ornaments.
But 5 different ornaments.
Right.
Round. 5 each. So 25 ornaments.
Okay.
And then the wow pieces.
3 on the specialty ornaments.
Yeah. So
1, 2, and I'm sure we have another one around there.
3 of each specialty.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like 3 big snowflakes, 3 big stars, 3 big lanterns, 3 big,
Yeah.
But you only need, it just all depends.
Right.
How much you wanted to do.
And then the next thing we like to do is put sprigs in. Now, I know we talked about the evergreen sprigs that we use, but we also have beautiful sprigs here of this one in particular is a champagne sprig.
But look at all that.
But look, I mean, you can cut this if you want. All of these can cut. They don't.
That's $11.99.
Could take
Not a
that,
show for the dough.
right? And then take that and put it in here.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, and have it cascading down. And now you've taken your tree to another level. And you'd probably only need 5 of those.
Yeah.
And,
or they can come out of the top.
Or the other thing you can do, remember, is cut it in half and get away with less than that. And a lot of trees aren't sitting out in the middle. Most trees have a back to them up against the wall. And you don't have to decorate the back.
Right.
Now, the other thing we do is we use ribbon. And this ribbon, and Barbara, do we have an open bolt somewhere? This, or I can pull this off here. That's okay.
Here, right here on the floor.
Okay.
Yep.
So this, if you'll look, is not even a bow. You just take a strip of ribbon and let me put this
Here, I
down.
got it.
Okay.
I got one. Here's
All
your
right.
strip.
All right. And what you do is make one loop,
One loop.
put that chenille or the pipe cleaner, and we used green here. And now
Yeah,
this one
so
has
like
a
you
short
said.
tail and a long tail. But once you just stick it into the tree and loop it on, attach it to one of these loops, which is easier.
Yeah, don't
said
worry
than
about it.
done.
Just lay it in there.
Then you pull your hand and open that loop up, and
See?
and then you don't have to say, "Oh, I don't know how to make a bow. I can't do that." You can definitely
You can make
do
a
that,
loop.
and that use that pipe cleaner to attach it to a limb.
Because sometimes what people are trying to do is make those
Streamers.
streamers come all the way, and that works too.
Yeah, if you want to.
It's just, this is another way.
But look at this loop that she did. Just cut a piece of ribbon. She edged the two ends and just stuck it in the tree. You put one like up here and come down here. And if you don't have kids that are going to go pulling on anything, then you have some beautiful ribbon in there. And I would suggest a lot of people don't use ribbon now, but I'll tell you what, I still like a little bit. We don't go crazy like we used to. We would start the whole tree with ribbon.
Yeah.
But now it's just sprigs here and there that we use.
Or I'm just going to do it at the top.
Yeah.
And but attaching those ornaments, that's what we're going to, a decorator trick.
Okay.
Now this one, you can't.
Yeah.
Because it just is on there.
You can a little bit, and I'll tell you how. And I did this on my tree last night. I didn't let Amy do all of it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
You take it, stuck here,
Make sure.
make a loop. I don't know if you can see. Just make a loop. I wasn't a Boy Scout, and come through, and then it makes another loop right here. You
So
see,
it's
I've
a
got
shorter
a
one.
shorter one. Put it on the branch, and pull it tight on that end, and then you've got it shorter. That's a harder one.
That's
to do.
one thing.
That's
way.
one way. But on some of them, I'm caught. My price tag is on there.
Oh. So like here are our chenilles, and they're about 12 inches long.
Yeah,
a chenille.
probably.
So we cut them up.
Oh yeah,
That we get about 3
per. Yeah.
And like this one, it's hanging down. And it's like you want a little bit more design control because it's like, I've got to.
It's going to be in her hair next.
Or if you have the loop on the ornament.
That's what I think that it works the best on.
Right here,
you got
coral
one,
ball.
Yeah. And they've got the typical metal hanger there. Just take the, don't, Barbie.
Okay, we'll get another one.
No, I'll get one.
Get a new one.
Here. Since
She didn't trust me.
No, you already broke
I don't know
one.
why.
You already broke one
Well,
yesterday.
it's not my first time.
Well, I
Yeah.
know. But you see, you take the loop here, put your chenille through it, pull it up, and just put that on the branch. And you can't, because we're using the green pipe cleaners, then look at that. And it's close to the tree. You don't see the plastic stem that comes with, or the loop that you get on a lot of them. You don't have that metal hanger hanging down.
It kind of looks like a berry on a tree.
It does. And it looks like it's part of it. And it's more of a decorator look.
It is.
It is. Yeah, it is.
You got the secret because we got the secret, right?
But I mean, just these few little tips can take your tree from same old tree to something really fun. And that's, you want to put your personality into it. But I also, like I say, suggest come up with your wow ornaments that you want to put on it. You're going to say, it's the same tree every year. And I even said that this year to mine. But I did some fun things that we'll share on Facebook and Instagram, the before and after, how I started with just a plain green tree. And then I got flocked branches. And I took those flocked branches and I fluffed them really good. And I stuck them in the tree. Then after I did that, and it shows pictures, then I put my first layer of ornaments on. second layer, and now it has all of the ribbon on too. And it took it from, how did that go from this plain green tree to this amazing piece? That
So if you're investing in stems,
yes,
versus investing in a very, very expensive tree,
yeah,
you can change the look of your tree from year to year. And it's not like, oh, it just looks like the same tree, because once you start sticking stems in it, you can change and you can
put that garland in it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. My tree, we determined that I used in my den was 17 years old. It wasn't pre-lit.
Yes.
But I put the lights on every year, and I probably put 2,000 lights on, about at least 20, I don't know, maybe 15 strands. I don't know. On my big one, the 12-foot, I used to put 20 plus strands on. But that's the key to it. Put lots and lots and lots of lights on. And you want that, especially when I put the flock branches in, I want that light to come through everything. And like I said, we'll post that on, post it so you can see the before and after and how much fun it was. And really, didn't have a lot of money invested in ornaments. And something else that was beautiful with it was some icicles hanging off of it, which you don't see icicles much anymore. I'm losing my voice here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Weird. Yeah. We were going to talk about tying bows tonight.
Well, this is part one.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was going to be a lot.
Yes.
And we may talk about mantles next week.
Right. Mantles are hard. They are very hard. And a lot of it because you have, mine has the TV right down to the mantle, which I do not like, but it is what it is. So I went below my mantle to decorate. So you got to look at all the different opportunities there. And we'll talk about that in probably next week.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to be on Tuesday, correct?
Correct.
Before Thanksgiving. And
because we said, oh, we'll talk about entertaining, but right now
you're going to be out of town though. I don't know how we're going to do that.
Oh,
we'll
interesting.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Or maybe
it might be
Friday. Yeah, it'll probably be Friday because
it's a better day.
I think it'll be Friday. So that way you'll be in the middle of your decorating, and hopefully we'll be able to give you some tips.
Yeah, because the bows
to the next level
are the final level bows for your banisters.
Big, beautiful bow on the banister. You can do it. Don't be afraid of that ribbon, and do it if you don't want. I do it all in one. But so many people do small bows and then put them all together with these chenilles. And, fake it till you make it. You can do this.
Yeah.
Right? And if not, we do it here at Finley Rock.
Because even I was shopping this morning. I was like, what am I thinking? I can't pick this stuff out. But then you go home and you go.
And Barbara, and don't be afraid of size, because Barbara has in her den, it's a 7.5 foot, right?
It's a 7.5 foot.
But some of the ornaments she puts on there are huge. I would say a 12-inch diameter.
Wow, that's really big. It is a 12-inch.
Yes, I thought so.
Yeah.
And I walked in and said, woo! But you know what? When it's all done, it is beautiful.
You only need 3 if it's 12 inches.
Yeah, you had 7 or 8 on there, but that's okay.
Well, those were 8 inches. I might have 5. It's either 3 or 5.
It's not. But it's beautiful. As always, it's gorgeous. And whatever Amy
does,
for everybody. She can take it to the next level. Exactly. It's pretty. All right, guys. We appreciate you and all you do and coming in here. We might not talk to you before Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be the day after Thanksgiving when you're done all your shopping and your feet are hurting. We'll talk to you then. But you have an amazing holiday.
Yay.
And come see us at Finley Row. Barbara, get your glass. We always end with, there you go.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Thank you for supporting small. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Join us in a drink. Bye, guys.
Okay. And
cheers.
And
enjoy. And get your trees decorated. Bye.
Get to work. Get to work. It takes a while.